Vinyl community, this is Tommy and welcome to another musical adventure. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to be talking about records, we're just going to really be talking about music. So if you're only interested in seeing vinyl or anything like that, go ahead and skip this video, do yourselves a favor. But if you're a fan of music and in particular blues music, this will be the vlog for you to watch and I hope you enjoy it. We are in Jackson, Mississippi, and throughout this vlog we're going to be looking at several what they call blues trail markers. Of course, Mississippi being the birthplace of America's music and the blues playing such a predominant part in this or predominant role in musical history. We're going to look at some of the markers and some of the places in the area, and so stick around and we're going to take a look at several historic locations and really relevant to the history of music. So we're standing on the historic Ferris Street in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. Now Ferris Street has a rich history, and I would probably describe Ferris Street back in its heyday very similar to Bourbon Street in New Orleans or Beale Street in Memphis. This was sort of the entertainment area. This is where you went to hang out. Now behind me, if you can see, is F. Jones Corner, which was a night spot, and of course right now it's shut down like a lot of places due to the coronavirus, but you can usually catch some great live music here, and there's a couple of interesting sites I want to show you guys right here on Ferris Street. Okay, this building, back when it was open and functioning, used to be a furniture store. Now what significance would a furniture store have to music? Well, this was the furniture store that belonged to Henry Columbus H.C. Spear, and what Henry Spear did was he ran the Spear Phonograph Company. It was right here on 225 Ferris Street, and it was instrumental in recording sessions from guys like Charlie Patton, Skip James, Tommy Johnson, and so many others, including the Mississippi Sheiks. So this was kind of the birthplace of a lot of rich musical history. This is what Spears looked like back in its heyday, and of course the many records and artists that were associated with H.C. Spear. And take a moment to pause if you want to read these. And of course, all of these markers are online, so you can look at the history and see what they are. Of course, this is what the corner of Spears looks like now. It's just an abandoned building, but you never know what type of history are in these abandoned buildings. Of course, F. Jones Corner still happening on Friday and Saturday nights. You can come down here and catch some great live music. So you're probably wondering, like, what's going on down here? Why is it so abandoned? Well, there's been some efforts in recent years to try to revitalize this area. There was talk that there was going to be a B.B. King's Music Club. They've done a lot of work. They've paved over some of the sidewalks to try to spruce it up a little bit. But it's just a deal where there's a neighborhood that's kind of died around it. And so the efforts have really kind of stalled out for the time being. Aside from a couple of businesses and a couple of places, there really isn't a whole lot happening on this street. Also on the sidewalk, is a little bit of a Walk of Fame, kind of like the Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. The great Sonny Boy Williamson, one way out from Glendora, Mississippi. Still quite a bit of the old retro vibe around here though. Dennis Brothers Barbershop. You'd be remiss to talk about blues music without talking about the King, B.B. King from Indianola. Still in business on Ferris Street, the longtime favorite Big Apple Inn, home of your pig's feet sandwich, the Little Smokies as they call them. A local delicacy and a favorite, and a must-have if you're ever in the area. The fantastic Dorothy Moore, one of the great blues singers, of course her hit Misty Blue, and we're right on the street where a lot of her legend gave birth. The great Sam Myers from Laurel, Mississippi, just south of Jackson. And we're standing outside the historic Alamo Theater, still like a beacon. The theater's quiet right now. They still do booking here occasionally and do live events. But this is a very historic site. Dorothy Moore was one of the great performers here. And to come here back in its heyday, back in the 60s and 70s, you would have seen some of the greatest artists to ever play music. Taking a look inside at the lobby. Of course, we're not inside the building, but I thought I'd give you guys a peek. And there is a Blues Trail marker, of course, in front of the Great Alamo Theater, talking about its history. As you can tell from the marker, it was opened in 1949. But as you can see, Nat King Cole, Elmore James, Louis Jordan, the great Cab Calloway, so many people, gospel groups, everybody that was mentioned, and like I said, Dorothy Moore. There is the young Dorothy Moore in her prime. And there she is standing outside of the Alamo from 2003. And the hit Misty Blue, as recorded and released by Malaco Records, a label right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Peaches Cafe, right next door to the Alamo, was a staple down here since 1961. Of course, the cafe has now moved to a different location, but the sign and everything is still here. It's just a lot of history here. Ferris Street in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. I'm sure back in its day, this place was a hub of great music. So we're now in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This is Mobile Street. It's just off of downtown. And right here on Mobile Street is what is widely considered one of the early rock and roll records, recorded way back in 1936. There's a Blues Trail marker right here marking this event, and I'm going to show it to you guys. Here in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, it's been noted as a marker on the Blues Trail about the roots of rock and roll, talking about the Mississippi Juke Band brothers, Roosevelt and Uroy Graves, along with Cooney Vaughn, made what is widely considered in 1936 one of the early rock and roll records, according to the Rolling Stone, Illustrated History of Rock and Roll. Barbecue Bust by the Mississippi Juke Band. And of course some photos of Hattiesburg and the history here. The Hotel Hattiesburg, some various record labels and signs, as noted, right here on Mobile Street in Hattiesburg, just near downtown. Wanted to show you guys this mural, showing maybe what the Mississippi Juke Band looked like, commemorated by the city of Hattiesburg, the roots of rock and roll. Okay, so I hope that you are enjoying the visit to my home state. And here's the thing, there's so much footage that I shot while in Mississippi. I want to break this up into at least 2 videos, possibly 3 videos. So I didn't want to cram everything into just one long video. I wanted to make this digestible, easy to watch while you're on a break or something. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Also hit that little bell notification so you'll know when there's new content uploaded here, because there is some really great stuff that you didn't see in this video that I promise you're going to see in the next video. Like I said, at least 2 parts, possibly 3, and I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys. Comment down below, let me know what you think of the video, if you're enjoying this kind of content. I love taking you guys to places. I love sharing musical history. That's kind of the whole idea of Tommy's Musical Adventures, is to take you guys along and to show you some sights and take you to some places that you might not otherwise get to go to. So, hope you're digging it. Let me know what you think. Like the video. I love interacting with you guys. See you for part 2. In the meantime, save the Texas Prairie Chicken.